Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Andrew.
And I'm Mike. Welcome to another Creative Artist Podcast, where we talk about artistry and creativity across different mediums.
That's right. And today we're going to be talking about text-to-video AI and its implications in Hollywood. We're going to talk about what it is, where it's at right now, and how it's going to affect the future, Mike.
Yep, we're going to talk about if Hollywood is going to burn to the ground.
Right. And by the way, you're going to want to choose a safe word.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find out by the end of this episode. Finally, something happened. I got an audition that came through, 7-page audition, which doesn't happen that often anymore, for basically a character that you all know as A-Rock.
You are going to play yourself?
My alter ego for the listener, the one person that's listening from London right now, which, by the way, we have a London audience. I'll take that. I'll take an English crowd. So...
Just going to throw in some English.
Like
watermelon.
You know what I mean?
Maybe we'll have some watermelon later.
So that's Leon's crowd that got us from London. But A-Rock is my alter ego. It's when I get a little urban with it.
So you got a 7-page read for an audition as A-Rock.
I can't wait, man.
You can't say for who?
Not yet.
Something's coming down the pipeline here.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen anymore, man. You'd be surprised. So I'm really excited for it because I get to play A-Rock for 7 pages, and I don't think casting is ready for it.
Is it film or theater?
It's a film.
Film
came through. Yeah, man. But what's up with you? Anything new?
Just delayed the start of the podcast today just a little bit.
Mike, show the people. Look at the size of this ungodly amount of caffeine that Mike is drinking right now.
It's a little late at night, so we want to have a little caffeinated action.
Like jingle the ice so that people can listen at home, see how much is in it. That's a lot of ice, folks. Anyway.
I didn't pick the amount of ice.
Yeah. Anything creatively, endeavors? What's going on, man?
Well, we got the indoor season is about to start ramping up, so we've just been doing a couple of design meetings. We're probably on our fourth meeting as a team right now. Just passing ideas back and forth and seeing what resonates with everybody. Making a couple samples musically to see if it inspires something else. So it's more right now we're in like a discovery phase. Like we know we want to check these certain boxes, and so these are the musical things that check the boxes for me, so I'm developing them. Some of the other guys might have visual packages that are inspiring for them, and we're just kind of passing ideas back and forth and seeing what sparks a fire and what doesn't.
When it gets down to the wire, we have to pick something. Does it ever get a little heated where it's like we got 2, maybe 3, but probably 2 good competing ideas and we don't really know?
Yeah. I think it just depends on how passionate everybody is about their ideas. Like I brought this year so far like 6 items to the table, and I'm not very passionate about 3 or 4 of them. So like when we brought them up and then we moved on from them, like I'm not hurt. Yeah. That's part of the game is like not all the ideas are going to make it in.
Sure.
So as long as you have that mindset, like doesn't get too crazy. But,
gotcha.
But every once in a while, someone will have an idea that they're very passionate about, like myself included, that I'll fight for, or if I feel like it's important enough to fight for.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, hit me up if you need a voiceover. You know who to call.
Yeah.
Leon, I want to move on to you, but before we do, man, I'm going to New York next week. I'm doing my little
pilgrimage.
My pilgrimage to a creative city to go watch art. And bro, type in on if you can on Google halls. I'm asking him to type in a French word. Halls de Lumière.
Oh, go ahead and spell it.
HALS. HALLS D Lumière, and type in space.
I like how you skipped over Lumiere.
So the projection museum that we did in Amsterdam.
Yes.
That was based off of Salvador Dali with...
Nah, this shit ain't right, bro. Yeah, what was it?
We're going to need screenshot the spelling just so we can put it up there.
Halls de Lumière. HALL. Just type in immersive experience New York space. flight or space. And dude, it's the same Culture House company.
New York, what?
You can just type in New York, immersive experience, New York, space.
Space. Okay.
Yeah. And immersive experience. Hit yeah, okay, so hit images. Dude, it's exactly what we were thinking before. There it is. Click on that pink one right there. So that's right. This is the exact same thing, but space flight. And I looked at the soundtrack, and it is absolutely sick. And I can't wait.
I think they were showing this in Amsterdam, not the day that we were there, but like it's in the rotation.
It is in a rotation for one of the ones.
I remember they were showing a preview for it in between shows, and it was pretty epic.
I snuck a peek at this playlist, "Gimme Shelter" by the Rolling Stones. Can you imagine the Challenger rocket going up and "Gimme Shelter's" playing?
What? So this is in your plan or list of things to do. What else do you have on your?
Glad you asked. Comedy Cellar. When I fly in, Brazilian night is happening in Central Park. So we're gonna go see the Queen of Samba play a set over there. And then if I can I got a meeting with my agent, and then if I can grab a Broadway ticket to go see Stereograph, I'll probably see that or see anything else I can go see. But yeah, stand-up comedy, immersive museum, some theater, some business stuff, bro, jazz in the park. It's a full-packed weekend.
Going to take any time to walk through Central Park?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. With a bacon, egg, and cheese and a coffee.
So it's too early for snow, right? Like you're just going to it'll be like normal.
It's August, Mike.
I don't know. New York. I'm from Florida, man. It's like
August,
always
Mike.
hot down here. They got snow up there, don't they?
Yeah, but not August.
Not yet.
Yeah, it is probably doesn't hit till December or January. But yeah, I'm doing the creative pilgrimage, which is something we talked about. But you, Leon, you doing anything creatively lately?
Nah.
Nah, he said absolutely not, bro. No. I'm hitting my vacation stride. But yeah, bro, let's get right into it. Let's talk about, so this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about video AI, text to video AI, the looming elephant in the room for Hollywood and most creators at bay. We're going to talk about what it is, how it kind of works a little bit, where we're at right now, and what Mike thinks we should do.
Great. Yeah. So what is it?
What is it? Yeah. Like right now, it works like any other AI software program where it's in its infancy, where you have a text, a prompt that you feed into it, and it gives you an output.
Is there a specific one, or is this like in general all of the text to voice or text to video AIs?
So what do you mean by that? Like, what are you asking?
I've heard about Sora.
Right. That's OpenAI's.
Yeah. Are there, what are the other ones? Or?
So there's a multiple, right? One of the ones we're going to talk about today is Odyssey, and they're specifically in the market in Hollywood. They're looking at recreating theatrical designs through the mode of AI. And it's looking pretty good, man.
So what do they do? Like, how does it function?
Okay. Glad you asked. I have some notes here in front of me, but I'm going to try to do it from memory in hopes of that I can nail this first try. But basically, Odyssey's design is like a Hollywood-grade visual AI, which basically means they're trying to capture the same level of quality that you would get with CGI, which a bunch of artistic designers. The way it works is you're getting a lot of people coming from self-driving cars, a lot of those engineers. Because what a self-driving car does right now is it takes 3D images and it tries to translate it into 2D.
Yeah, it collects real-world data from the cameras.
Mm-hmm. So I'm imagining there's a bunch of data points that the camera picks up, configures it into some sort of material that it can read, and then makes basically judgments based off of that, right? Mm-hmm. That seems to be like what it does from a...
It does now. It used to be, if I understand this correctly, it used to be all coding. Like if you're thinking about Tesla, it used to be like, I don't know, millions of lines of code of like, if you see a red light, do this. If you see a yellow light, do this. And then they've moved on from that into, I guess, a real world camera input data or data input.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not an expert in this.
Sure,
at all.
no, but I think
it takes real time data and uses that to create a model
Exactly.
that continuously evolves.
I think that's the key word, models, right? Learning language models. This one's another model that does a similar thing, but it's in reverse. So with 3D, with cars, they're taking a 3D environment and they're turning it into 2D, where now we're doing the reverse, where we're taking a two-dimensional model, we're putting into 3D. And kind of like other companies, where you're just, the restriction is right now with AI and text to video is I can write a prompt and I can get it configured and computed to give me an output, something really nice, or bad. Excuse me, sparkling water. But you're not in a lot of control of what you can dictate in the output. Case in point, can you actually... So one of the first text to video videos I ever saw, Leon, could you go down a little bit? There's a link there to a McDonald's commercial. Yeah, right there. I think it's the third link. And so this is what you end up getting with text to video without being able... Yeah, you can click on any of them. They're kind of scary. So I don't know if we'll have any audio here, but so like one of the first things I ever saw seeing was people were just type in McDonald's commercials and having AI created just a McDonald's commercial for them, and it just it warps certain things. It gets close to the mark, but overall you're going to see some very disillusioned images. So go ahead and play that, man. It's like a guy putting a hot steamy burger down, and I'll probably clip this and show the world, but it's not bad, right?
Yeah.
It's an AI. It's a commercial based off of a AI writing a McDonald's commercial.
So you're literally watching like the computers film it and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This one's actually probably a later one. Click out of this one. This one's actually really good.
I was going to say this is pretty solid.
It's pretty solid. In my prediction, actually, and I think this is true, we're already going to see this, is look for an older one, a scary one, where it was like, oh, Jesus Christ, what happened to Ronald McDonald? Why does he look like that? That one right there. Yeah. Jesus Christ, this one looks scary.
Oh, yes. Okay, now we're talking.
Dude,
it's like a bleeding hamburger.
Oh my God. And this is why we need regulation with AI, because content like this is created. Oh no, it's like a ketchup monster. Oh, who's... These look like...
Oh no, yeah, I see what you're saying. The parameters.
See? Oh no.
It'll be like a cheeseburger as someone's nose.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, if you're not... I wish the listener... Listen, it's basically Wes Anderson meets Black Mirror episode. It's very scary.
Yeah, it's doing in video... this
God, dude. Turn it off! Leon, turn it off, Leon! God!
So this is doing what... like OpenAI's large language model does, which was like it takes the information, and then anything that it doesn't have, it just fills in the gaps.
Yes.
With I don't want to say misinformation, but just whatever it needs to get to the next idea that might be true. So the video is the same, essentially the same, or at least this one is, where it's like you want a person eating a hamburger, and then like it knows that there's going to be a person, and it knows that there's going to be a hamburger, but it doesn't know exactly how to connect those dots. So it's like somebody, you see a face and then a cheeseburger as a nose, but then they pull it off of their nose and they eat it, but there's only 3 fingers instead of 5. Dude. It's just filling in the gaps however it can.
It's kind of, it's surrealism, kind of going back a little bit to the Salvador Dali. Like you take that and mix it with the Clockwork Orange and a McDonald's commercial, and I got the infancy of AI.
If you think about it, though, it's not that far off from what the actual human brain does.
Do tell.
So I saw this on a Instagram feed, but it was 2 images of 2 different actors, and then you're staring at this key spot in between the 2 images, and it just keeps changing the images, and your peripheral vision and your brain is filling in the gaps because you're not quite looking at the pictures, you're looking in between them. So it starts to adjust and manipulate their faces. And at any point in time, if you look away from it and you look at the faces, they look normal. But if you're looking in the center, after like 2 or 3 of them, they start to look disfigured.
Interesting.
And it's what your brain normally does to fill in gaps of information. So like if you're, at home right now and you're sitting on a couch and you're looking forward, and let's say you have like a guitar to your left and a plant to your right. If you're looking forward, you can't actually see that, but your brain is what you can see, but your brain is filling in the rest with what it thinks is there.
Interesting.
So like the AI is doing that, just a bad job of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because this is the infancy of it, and it's kind of strange how strikingly close it is to the human psyche and what we do. But yeah, the biggest problem right now, that was the problem. As Leon clicked on one of the first videos, this McDonald's commercial is kind of the baseline right now that we have to see how good AI is getting. And as you saw, that first one that we clicked on was pretty dang good.
Yeah, that looked legit. So it's only getting better.
It's only getting better. And the way it's getting better is Odyssey. Leon, if you don't mind just scrolling up a little bit on this one. Odyssey's the company that's kind of at the forefront of this. I say this at the forefront because they're the ones to kind of articulate that they're creating 4 different dynamic variables that you can control when using this text to video AI. And they're also creating a different data set that they can use to pull on for AI. So
what are the four?
Great, glad you asked because I have this completely memorized. No, it's lighting is one of them, right? So when you're trying to create a CGI, right? Lighting, geometry, motion, and I think about realistic characteristics, right? And so lighting's important, because if I'm trying to create a cityscape with AI. And say that we're having a dinner in a high rise in New York City, but I want to use AI as to create the entire sequence. Lighting's going to be huge. The geometry, I guess, so it doesn't look like a burger's coming out of someone's face, and all those characteristics. But they're actually working on being able to fine tune all those characteristics within the prompt. So like you can type in the prompt, it gives you the output, and then you can go in and actually edit those characteristics.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So,
Right.
So there's it's not a software, an AI called, I guess, Midjourney bot.
Yeah.
And it is, you can create images with it, and you can do all the things that you're talking about doing. Like I can go in and I can make my prompt, right? / imagine, and then the prompt. And the way you structure your prompt is how you give importance to the thing. So like if I want to have a cartoon character wearing sandals at night sitting on a beach.
Yeah.
Like the most important thing is going to be cartoon character because that's the first thing I said. And then it like lowers in priority the further you go out. And then at the end of it, you can add these key elements. So you can be like -- AR, which is aspect ratio. And then you can define what you want the aspect ratio to be. Or you can define -- chaos, like how wild you want it to get or not. And there's a ton of those different elements, but you can only press them once. You can only input them once, and then it creates something. You can't go back and edit like you're talking about. So with the video stuff, you're saying you can make your prompt, you can set the parameters, and once it makes it, you can go back in and adjust.
Exactly.
And the 4 things are what? Lighting, and what are the other 3?
Geometry. So I can imagine spatial awareness and distribution amongst different things.
Like how you're filling a frame?
Yeah, how you're filling a frame. Lighting, that, and what else did I say? Motion, and then I believe the other one was like realistic. How realistic the actual quality of what you're using around.
So lighting,
texture.
Geometry, motion, and realism.
Yeah. Kind of crazy. Actually, can you do me a favor, Leon? Can you go to the links page? There's Odyssey. I just want to show you guys. Yeah, I think it's right there. So check this out. this is kind of where they're at. This is all AI. You can click play on that video right there and just see at the level at which. So we can only create maybe a minute, maybe a little bit more, to 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes right now, I guess is what people are doing with AI video. But they're kind of showing a commercial of where it all started to where it's going. And dude, I'm telling you, that video of Ashton Kutcher where he's completely kind of all in on AI is going to basically take away everything in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's literally going to be a prompt. Can you click through to the and see if they show actually? There it is. Damn.
So we're just watching AI generated video of different
Landscapes.
scenery and landscapes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It doesn't seem like it's there yet. Like it doesn't seem like its
not
ability
there
to
yet.
take over Hollywood is happening. Maybe what do you think a timeline is? Like 5 years, 10 years?
Well, nobody knows. Nobody knows. But the Ashton Kutcher video, he's going basically all in.
He's
on AI.
about it. He's hyping the AI. He wants it to be a thing. He wants it to take over the industry.
It will probably. At the rate at which it's going to be a major disruptor. And we've seen technology disrupt stuff all the time in different industries. I mean, I don't know if you remember this, because this was predating the 1900s, but they used to deliver ice to people. That used to be a job, and then the refrigerator happened, right? Now, this is a little bit different because, well, it's incredibly different. But the CEO of this company basically said what would have taken James Cameron 10 years, 100 different digital artists to create. Yeah, click that video, Leon. Click this one. What would have taken James Cameron. Oh, hold that thought. You see this? Look at this fucking rhinoceros right here. That's a good ass rhinoceros.
For the guests listening,
Yeah.
Without oh wow, look at that.
See, that's the different.
Without the video,
That's the different layers right there.
a very large rhinoceros walking right towards us, and they're changing the landscape as we go, editing
Yeah.
to different settings.
They're showing the capability of what you can do with this Odyssey AI, which is
And it's all happening in split seconds. What would normally take a team of people a month to create a scene?
probably. And going to that point, so James Cameron, right? It would take him over 100 artists, visual effects artists, in 10 years to create, the next Avatar movie. Where the CEO for this company, Cameron, also oddly enough, he's saying it could take us a fraction of that price and 5 AI engineers.
Yeah. It's interesting, right? Like you think about technology advancement like the cell phone, and when the cell phone was invented, or not even the cell phone, the smartphone. When the smartphone was invented, people were like, this is going to ruin all the jobs and no one's going to be able to be employed, and this technology is going to kill us. And instead what it did was made new jobs that no one ever thought could exist. Like, what's an app creator? Like, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
And because of smartphones, now that's a job. And then there's different type of web development jobs based for mobile smartphones.
Yeah.
Just created this whole new era of jobs and types of jobs. So like right now, everyone's looking at AI. We'll say specifically this video. Text to video, and being like, oh my gosh, this is going to ruin jobs. And it probably will ruin a lot of jobs.
It's going to change the industry for better or for worse. It's going to change it astronomically.
But what are the jobs that it's going to open up? Like, I'm sure there's going to be a whole new field of jobs. I mean, you work for, you might work for Universal Pictures as a prompt creator.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, that's going to be the next thing. It's like, what are the jobs that we don't know are going to exist that will exist because of it? So there'll be something. It's going to hurt a lot of people for sure, I think. But
Can I tell you what kind of scares me a little bit? It doesn't. Well, no, I said it. It kind of does scare me. I'm a little nervous about how fast things are moving, because I feel like it's going to swipe the rug from underneath a lot of people who aren't in positions to have a rug swept away from them.
So you want regulation on?
100%. I think the union, SAG-AFTRA, should have got in bed with the AI companies and not trying to negotiate with instead of negotiating with, all the producers, AMPTP, they should have gone to these companies and been like, cool, can we have a stake? Or like, let's be a part of what's going to revolutionize everything, as opposed to the barrier of the people who are barring the entry into it, that kind of worries me.
Yeah, that seems like that would have been a smart move. You should have called somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I'll tell you what, though, as far as the damage that it would do to Hollywood, like how devastating do you think that is? Because I have a thought on this that maybe is a hot take.
Sure. I'll go into some of the bad. Here's what's probably going to happen. It's going to hit commercials first, because right now the text to video, it doesn't have, I guess, the bandwidth to you can't do a whole movie yet. You'll get there. The Ashton Kutcher video, which we'll put a link to in the description of this. I mean, you'll literally get to the point where you can just write a prompt and a whole movie will come up.
Yeah,
that's coming. That's going to be here.
You think that that's a negative?
I think so. For the artist in me that burns, it will be sad to see the film crew go away, the actors go away, the cosmic, most of it will go away.
But can you imagine now? You're an artist, right? We've talked about this before, where you're like,
before you go, I think you're going to go into your hot take. Before you do it, can I just be really brooding and sad actor really quick?
Yeah.
So all those people are going to get hit. Leon, don't play that song. So that's going to happen. It's going to be the change of an industry, and an industry that's always been changing, right? It's going to affect a lot of things. I think that we don't see happening. So those people a whole economy is going to be shifted and turned on its ass. I think this is what kind of happened in music, probably when Napster
and Kazaa,
LimeWire, and Kazaa,
whatever. Yeah,
I think that's what we're going to see here too. It's kind of devalue a lot of the art as well.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and so I'm just trying to riff here on the sad stuff. Also, a lot of right now, and this is what's kind of happening. I'm just going to riff on sad stuff.
Hang on.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Play me a tune as I keep going into this.
Just keep going.
And the world is crumbling, and it's not getting any better, folks. And the best thing for you to do right now is learn how to use AI and just survive. On that note, one thing that is crazy is the legality question here. It begs the question. Who is that?
What? I don't know.
It's Jordan Peterson. It begs the question, Mike.
You should have said it. Yeah, you should have said it more.
It begs the question.
Annoying.
No, but it does beg the question. The legality of this. So right now, another AI video company called, I believe, Runaway. Is it called Runaway, Leon? What is it? Go up really quick. Yeah, Runaway. They're running into some hot water because remember how I said the data set of how this AI fills in the blank?
Mm-hmm.
Well, some of them scrub the internet. And on the internet is other artists' work. So they end up using some pieces of other artists' work, and actually OpenAI kind of got a little bit of hot water with those.
Yeah, Midjourney too. Yeah.
Did they really?
Yep.
With OpenAI, the voice of ChatGPT.
Oh, that, yeah.
Scarlett
Johansson. She said no, and then they used it anyway.
And it came out. I was like, what are you going to do, And so that's the question too. So the Odyssey's trying to actually fulfill their data set by going out and actually shooting stuff, where some of these AI companies are just scrubbing the internet.
Yeah, that's tough too. Like if you put your stuff out there, it's there. Like literally this podcast, I mean, it's out there on the internet. Someone can utilize it for however they see fit. and there's not much anyone can do about it.
Can I tell you how I found an AI video? My cousin sent me an AI video, but can I tell you how I found out it was an AI video? It was Rogan and Elon Musk having a conversation, and Elon Musk was talking entirely too fast for me to believe that it was real.
You sure it wasn't just sped up?
No, I was like, Elon doesn't take quick pauses.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. Long pause, long thoughtful pause.
Yeah, man. So that's kind of, I mean, it's pretty gloomy. I think it starts in the commercial world. We'll start to see commercial shooting more with AI and just typing in prompts. And then I think it'll start to make its way into the big CGI cinematic moments until, sure enough, these movies get enough, first of all, cloud computing power, and they can just sell direct to consumer, or maybe that'll be a battle where they'll withhold the technology and be like, no, you need to be accredited studio in order to use it. I don't know.
Maybe. Let's look at the silver lining before we burn it down, because
We'll burning it down, baby.
We'll burn it down. But before we do, the silver lining in all this, I think, is we've talked about risk and producers or the film industry in general's unwillingness to take risk because it's a huge amount of money that they're gambling and they want to guarantee. But now you have AI that can either create this product or film, let's say a film eventually, like you make a film off of a well-crafted, long-written, long-form prompt. And now an artist can make the weird indie film that's really niche and special at an affordable cost.
Are you talking about the Steve Martin down in Key West killing a hooker movie that I've been waiting for?
Yes, exactly.
It's going to be such a good movie.
But now you can have that, right? You can make that, or you will be able to make that in the future. So it opens up the door for young, aspiring artists who don't have the funding or don't have the connections to be able to create that art and make those films without the handcuffs of risk management from the film industry.
You're right. So what we've seen a lot of what not taking a risk looks like at the box office. We've seen that. At this rate, we're going to see Inside Out 7.
Yes.
And Despicable Me 8.
Which we'll, unfortunately, probably go see.
You're definitely going to go see it. But another barrier of entry, and back me up on this, Leon, is it used to be the barrier of entry into film and TV, creating your own work, was equipment, getting your hands on a piece of equipment. And then it was like, well, they came out with DSLRs and the technology changed. So some of the consumers could afford, to shoot something, maybe not as quality, but you can get something out there and get your feet wet. And then it was like, I needed talent. So then social media kind of came along and it was like, all right, well, now I can recruit people. And I think this might be that also for CGI.
Well, at the very least, you get to, let's just speak maybe right now, you get to cut a corner, I think. And if you're looking at like CGI, you can build a scene off of AI and then pitch it. And then if it's worth it, then all right, this is worth it. Let's invest bigger money into having, either more engineers develop it or have a better AI software. You can decide whether it's worth, you can use that small example to decide whether it's worth investing into making something bigger.
It's funny that you say that because it's exactly what some of the beta programs for this, that's what they're using it for. They're literally using it for pitching in movies.
Yeah, I imagine you're going to see it a lot at like the film festivals. Like you'll get like, what is it, Sundance Film Festival? Yeah. You'll have a ton of like AI films, and maybe that becomes a new category. But let's just say for the moment it's not.
Yeah.
And you see a bunch of AI films, and then at the film festivals, now the bigger, the producers will watch it and be like, I like what they did there. Now let's do that again, but with Brad and Angelina.
Oh,
and then they'll buy it, and then they'll make it into their big budget film.
God, it begs the question, Mike. It brings up another question.
Unless you interrupt me, I'll never know it's Jordan. You have to interrupt me, and then I'll be like, it's Jordan Peterson.
Mike. Yeah, no. So if you do get to that point where now we're writing prompts for movies, how do we save the likes of Tom Hanks or Tom Hardy and any other Tom Hiddleston or any Tom out there. How do we could just take their image and put it into the film. It's like there's the question of legality.
Yeah, there has to be. I mean, there is now
oversight.
currently there's regulation on that, isn't there? Like someone's likeness.
Sure, probably. I don't know. Congress is moving really slow on this.
I mean, isn't that what they got grilled about? Like the whole
With Scarlett?
Well, no, not with Scarlett, but I believe when Congress was meeting with the different like Elon and Zuckerberg and all that stuff about the AI, because there needs to be there has to be regulations on it.
Now more than ever, too, in the beginning.
You know, like not even to go that way, but look at the aspect of scamming, right? So, all right, older people that don't internet right, they get scammed with, not knowing how to use the internet right. But what if I was able to create the look of a family member and also the voice and also send you a video, say I need some money and something like that? It can get tricky.
Go downhill pretty quick. There's a fix for that.
What is it, Mike?
The fix for that is for everyone and their family and their own people to have a code word. And you don't say the code word in front of any electronic devices. It's just a personal thing between humans.
Oh,
yeah.
And
But
if you get like the video, the AI video, let's say the video of like your loved one, and they're like, you have to pay $13,000 or else something's going to happen to me. And you're like, great, just say the code word.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be like extreme like that, but what if it's like, hey, no, but listen, check me out though. Like, what if it's something small that, hey, your niece or your grandchild, hey, grandma, could you send me $300? You know what I mean? It could be stuff small as that.
$300. Tell me the code word. Tell me the code word. I'll send you $300.
How dare you? You're gonna make me let's say our safe word for us to get
bananas.
Okeechobee. That's my real safe word. Wow. Moving on. No, but it looks grim right now. But we don't even really know what to expect, and it is very human for us to expect the worst. And that goes back to Runaway, the company Runaway. The CEO is saying we can't even have an actual conversation about this because there's people that are either all in and the artist mentality of rejecting it completely, which was me in the beginning. I'm a true and true, read Tennessee Williams at night and wake up and meditate on it kind of a gal. Mm-hmm. And don't.
That might be the first funny thing you said on this podcast. You got me
laughing. Like legitimately serious. Legitimately serious. And I rejected this immediately, but he's right. I think this is ultimately coming our way. There's nothing we can stop to do it. AI is a
freight train.
It's a freight train that's coming our way. It's a bubble. It's not great. It's getting better.
It's a tool.
You
can either build or destroy with it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's a tool. You can why you always come in with some shit just to... It's a tool. We either use it to build or destroy with. Is that Oppenheimer or is that Leon?
It's Leon, man. It's Leon.
See, it's true though, man.
I want to backtrack real quick because you said, we don't know what's going to happen. And I think if you look back to like you referenced the music industry before.
Yeah.
If you look at how that's changed, right? You used to have to be able to go into a recording studio to make an album, and now people are making albums from their bedrooms, mm-hmm. and they're platinum streaming albums. Like they're amazing, and it's more accessible to everybody at scale. That's, I think, foreshadowing for the film industry. And there's a good and a bad side to that, right? The good side is like, okay, now the indie artist gets to really go off and make something.
Yeah.
And it be affordable for them. But also with that is going to become a flooded market. So like, think about all the music that's out there on Spotify and Apple Music. It's just so much.
It sucks. And I do know where you're going, but it sounds really bad. But the advice to that would be just be better, try to stand out more.
Yeah.
It sucks saying that.
Yeah, I just mean the market itself is going to be flooded with these films, and the perfect film for you is going to be made by somebody in their bedroom with a prompt, and it's going to be incredible, and you'll never see it because there's going to be a million other films that mask it. And whatever the algorithm is that your device is showing you, like, you might see it, you probably won't.
Yeah.
So it'll be harder for the artist easier for them to make the product, harder for it to be seen by anyone.
But does that outweigh the fact that this is something that everybody should have access to? Anybody create? I think anybody.
No. I think it doesn't outweigh that. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody should have access to it.
Yeah.
If you want a studio in your house, do a studio in your house. I mean, it's up to you how good you are or how good you're going to be. But I think everybody should have access to something, especially if it's something that we didn't create. So.
Do you think the film industry would want this to get in the hands of the average consumer?
No.
Because it fragments the entire industry.
There's a
Just
guy.
different factions. Now it's popping up everywhere. And like, I don't know why.
There's an old guy with a monocle and a top hat
see him.
sitting behind a computer in a dark room right now trying to figure out how to stop these programs from getting out there.
What does he sound like, Mike? What does he sound like?
I'm going to stop them all. I don't know.
We're just going to clip that and be like, listen to the podcast.
I'm going to stop your AI.
Dude, how do they stop it? That's why I was like, is there going to be some sort of another barrier? It's going to be ridiculously expensive. Or they have only accredited filmmakers can get it.
No, it's going to be a subsbiannually like
be
everything
subscription
else.
Yeah.
Everything else is. It might be inexpensive. Okay, you got to pay $500 biannually or whatever. Mm-hmm. It'll be more expensive, I bet, but it's just going to be another subscription.
And you can create the shittiest movie ever.
Yeah. But I mean, like, going back to the whole movie thing, but like making like trailers and stuff like that, or pilots, it costs a lot of money to make these things. So imagine, this is your dream. You spent your last $50,000 on shooting this pilot, and hopefully somebody will pick it up. Nobody picked it up, right? Not saying it's bad or anything, but it sucks. You spent all that money, but what if you could have done that same thing, or maybe just a tad bit less quality or whatever? Yeah. You could have done that for $1,000. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, damn, all right, I didn't lose 50. I lost 1,000. All right, it's a loss, but it's not 50, and I can do this again.
Doesn't hurt as much as 50.
Yeah.
I can do this 50 more times.
You know what? If you're listening, it's just $49,000 down the drain because my Steve Martin AAI indie film just won't work. If you're listening to this right now, and if you're in London, or better yet, I'm gonna open it up to the whole world. Could you
cast a wide net?
Yeah, cast a wide net like Tom Hurst and Amina talked about in the last two. But do you care if you find a piece of work that's been made by AI? Do you care that if the movie was completely AI generated? I want to know. I think it's a fair, valid question.
If it's good, I don't think I don't care.
That is the consensus of most people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They don't care.
Yeah.
So as long as it's good, well, what does that say about? I mean,
it all goes back to the root of storytelling, right? We've talked about this before, but like storytelling is human nature, and that's the thing that has pushed humanity from when it started to now.
yeah,
It's like the most powerful tool we have as humans is the ability to tell a story. And this is just that.
it's telling it better than we could, though.
Yeah, but it's telling a story. Like it's the same device as like someone sitting by a campfire and telling a story, or reading you a book, or watching a movie, and now watching an AI film. Like it's all just another version of a human telling a story.
Yeah,
We're just using a computer assist.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's just a more efficient way of storytelling.
But I am pretty grim on the flooded market.
That's going to be, dude, when you were saying that, all it did was it took me back to like scrolling through SoundCloud and how much trash there's on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
and that can never be undone.
I can
it's just too much.
I can guarantee the market's going to be flooded because I'm going to be making a film on AI. I'm going to be flooding the market.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it basically SoundCloud. It's going to turn what SoundCloud is, which is basically a landfill for music.
I mean, there's some junk on there, but there's also been some great finds on there too.
Yeah,
and it's also a good place for artists to kind of like leak their music. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
I say that, but you're right. There's a couple of tracks on there that I always go back to because I can only find it on SoundCloud.
We're going to leak a episode of the podcast on SoundCloud.
Actually, it won't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
On SoundCloud.
Just put it out a day early.
Yeah, like the the Joe Budden podcast I used to watch. I still watch, but I first was listening to it on SoundCloud and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh,
I can't wait for the text to podcast, and then we don't even have to show up anymore.
We just write
put
it.
the prompts like, all right, have Mike and Andrew and Leon talk about this.
Do you think if it knows our voices and it scrubs all the last 10 episodes, it can just come up with its own?
Oh yeah, just make sure you have your safe word ready, and don't use the one you said earlier.
This isn't fun anymore, man. It's getting dark in here. Dang. No one cares if it's AI made as long as it's good.
That's it.
Which my hope, and this is really me pulling for this. I know I make this as a joke, but there's been because the box office has gone to it's over Marvel-fied the entire theater circuit. It's all animated films. People are kind of tired of that. They want something a little bit more rich story. And where do we go for those? A24.
Yeah.
And I want this to be I want the main differentiator to be you can either create an AI movie that's subpar and there's very little good AI movies that people do well because it's just so many, or you go for the A24 film that you know is going to be packed with some stars are going to be in there, a good piece of writing, and just
But that's the thing too. Like you said, a good piece of writing, like that's still going to be important. Like a good prompt is a good piece of writing, isn't it? Or is it not? When it comes to like a long format prompt that's going to build you a film, and imagine you're going to have script written into it, and you're going to have character development. Like you're going to have to prompt it to do those things, which is going to take good writing in itself. So I feel like we're talking about how it's going to kill jobs. Like I feel like the writers
can probably write a really good prompt.
Writers are safe.
Yeah.
Everyone else run.
Run to another industry, dude.
There was I believe his name is Leslie Brathwaite. He's an audio engineer, and they were talking about like AI and its future with audio. And one thing he said was pretty damn good. He was like, AI won't know when to make the wrong mistake or like to make the wrong decision.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
that's literally one of the foundations of creativity, right? Is when you do make a mistake and you go off of that, and then that becomes
right.
Human
error is one of the best parts about creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Sparks
it up.
Got you there, AI.
But they also do that. I was listening to something on it was a neurosurgeon speaking, and he was talking about like how his job is integrated with a robot surgeon. Like they use robots to do some more intricate surgeries. And he was talking about the difference between himself and the machine. Mm-hmm. And it was like, well, what's the point of even having a human surgeon if the robots are so good? And it was like, the robots are good at completing tasks. The robot surgeons are good at completing tasks, but they don't know how to handle when something unexpected arises.
Yeah.
So like if you're in the middle of a surgery and then all of a sudden a clot forms, that's not what it's tasked to do, and it wouldn't be able to adjust,
Okay, computer.
Yeah. So like
paranoid android plays.
Kind of goes back to your point with music, where it's like if something unexpected happens, it's not going to know what to do, but a human would. So like humans have that edge of being able to adapt.
I think we'll always have that edge over computers for sure.
Maybe not in 10 years, but
sorry, I'm stuck on this bit in my head. You said This is so dumb. I apologize. No, fuck you. I don't apologize. I'm going to say it. You were saying how when the robot surgeon comes across a problem it doesn't know. And then I said, okay, computer, paranoid android plays. It just, no. It was, God, we're going to cut that part from the podcast. It was so much funnier in my head to hear this Radiohead song, Paranoid Android, and the robot starts to malfunction and the doctor has to take over. That's the music video. That's the AI music video I'm making for Paranoid Android. Anyway, moving forward. What were you saying?
That was it. I was just comparing, I think, the music analogy to like other robotics and artificial intelligence formats.
Yeah, there's a lot that I won't be able to recreate, that's for sure.
I know with music right now, I know we're straying a little bit from
Right. No, but it's all
film,
encompassing.
with the music stuff, like, AI can now make music and make songs, but it's still like from my gig, writing percussion music or drumline music, like it's not able to have the nuance or like rudimentary understanding of how to notate those things yet. I'm sure it will, but for now, we're okay. Like I asked it to write I asked a large language model to do a paradiddle exercise, and it did. It just did it with like sticking, no notation.
Gotcha.
So it was like right, left, left, and then here's the variations of this that you can do, but it's not notating music like in Sibelius or Finale.
Yeah, that's yet to come. I was curious. I was going to ask you about that. I was like, do you think that that's going to venture its way? It's probably later. But
it's such a niche thing. Like it's just lower on the totem pole, I'd imagine. Like we want to knock out Hollywood first.
Yeah, yeah. That's where a lot of money is. And then
we're taking out the music industry with AI, and then we're coming for WGI and marching arts.
Yeah, we'll come for the marching arts last. I was with my barber, and she was cutting my hair, and we came to the realization that AI is not going to take hair cutting.
Well,
how many consumers are going to trust a robot to cut their hair?
Listen, there's humans I don't trust.
I can tell you right now, I'm unhappy with the haircut I got at Floyd's. This is your fault right here.
Shit, Floyd's. That's where my barber's from, too.
What you just said to me almost doesn't make sense because you're saying, well, how's anyone going to trust a robot to cut their hair? We're trusting robots to do neurosurgery.
I think people care more about what their hair looks like than what the doctor does on the
to their brain.
Yeah, I swear, dude. Have you met some of the people in Orlando?
Yeah. What is it called?
What?
Orlando dope.
Oh, yeah. Just a bunch of Orlando dope people. Yeah.
I mean, hair is important, though. I mean, hair is very important.
AI's, that's why we're not going to let AI cut it.
That's how the podcast ends. Hair is important. Click.
That's the thing, though. Like a lot of this AI, they still need like human involvement.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
humans always going to be in the loop.
So like, if we were Skynet, right? If
he takes it to Skynet.
Listen, if we could figure out how we can create and stuff without human interaction, like, oh, they're doomed. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But like, they still need. Even if it's something as small as like turning on the computer or writing in the command or something or loading the program, you still need some
human in the loop.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's no way that AI can't just be like, all right, I'm going to make a song today. I'm going to mix it, and then I'm going to master it, and I'm going to put it on this DSP, do all this stuff, and I'm going to post it. It still takes some type of involvement.
Absolutely.
I was listening today, actually, to Lex Friedman podcast, and they were talking about AI, not the film industry. What they were just talking about in general, like how do you, outside of regulation, when you're creating these programs, what can you do to keep them safe? Mm-hmm. Like what's something you could do to keep it safe? And the thing that they brought up was programming in self-doubt. So like no matter how smart the AI gets, there's always a code or program having it doubt itself 100%. So like it's never quite sure. It's never 100% sure that whatever it thinks is correct.
So like a paranoid android?
It's more of like always questioning and having curiosity being programmed in. Like,
Gotcha.
one of the things that makes humans better is your ability to doubt or question yourself and then learn and grow from that. So it's like if they program doubt into the AI, it will always question whether it's right. So if it's like, oh, kill all the humans, like at least there'll be a thing in the back of the, if it's mind,
I
where it's like,
don't know.
but maybe not.
I don't know.
I'm
Is
not
that the
sure
best?
that's the right answer. So like,
Yeah.
it's an interesting concept of like doubt. So if you have that programmed in, maybe that
I'd have to see what that looks like.
helps.
I'd have to see, yeah. Because then what's the difference between that and any other artist on the Lower East Side trying to create something like just doubt
The
all the
AI
way?
has imposter syndrome,
Yeah, it's like-
just like all of us.
I got to talk to my therapist. I don't know. I got to call my mom. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, regardless, I think it's too early to, with certain respects to certain things. I think we know that it's going to change a lot. I think it's going to fragment the entire industry. It's going to change the way we orient ourselves in the industry. I just don't know exactly what it looks like just yet. I'm starting to see it with commercials, but AI text to video is definitely it's going to shape the industry, and we're not going to know what it looks like for a while.
Good. Let's just leave it on this. For better or for worse, 10 years from now, is film and acting and theater, like, is it all going to be better off because of it or worse off because of it?
I think it depends who you ask that question to. If you're asking me,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say for better. I think if you asked a lot of people in the theater, they'll say for worse.
Okay, so if you're listening and you're involved in film and theater and cinema, acting, any of that, let us know if we're going to be better off 10 years from now with the AI development for film, or if we're going to be worse off. We want to know.
Leon, what's your prediction? Because you so far have dropped nothing but knowledge on every podcast. So
I don't know, man.
what it's going to be.
It's a train that's you can't stop it from coming. So it's either like you gotta get with it or get rolled over, or
Damn.
or not saying it like that, but use it to your benefit.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know how it's gonna be, but like let's look back. Let's say like 20 years ago, before internet was like this fast and stuff.
Yeah.
Like life now isn't that bad.
No.
It's not bad with the the increases in technology and internet and stuff, but
We're way worse now. I wish we had no internet.
There's those people too. I remember watching this old school lecture of a professor talking to his kids about Google and how it's going to destroy the world, and Google's the downfall of intellectual society. And he could not be wrong, because I Google everything.
Yeah.
That's what he was talking about.
it
Yeah.
used to be Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves. Well, how is he doing? That's what I want to ask Jeeves. How are you doing, Jeeves?
Ask Jeeves and Netscape Navigator.
So
Netscape
what you're saying is we're already cyborgs because we rely on our computers and our devices to hold information for us.
Why not rely on your computer and your devices to do stuff for you?
No,
Yeah,
I'm about
Mike.
it. Second brain. That's what I call it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not,
That's
Mike?
my notes section in my phone is what I call it, second brain, because it just put all the information in there, and then I can go back and reference it.
Okay, computer. I may be paranoid, but I'm not an android.
I put self-doubt in my
Did you?
my second brain too.
This
I've got it in both.
podcast is brought to you by Radiohead. Paranoid Android. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm good.
Yeah.
You got anything?
No, that was great.
Leon, you good?
Yeah, I guess was that everything?
Yeah, let me see right here. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. Well, yeah.
Just let us know if film industry is going to burn or not.
Yeah, let us know.
I think the filming should be fine, man.
We don't know that, man. Like, we could be stuck with animated films for the next 5 years until something
Alright,
good comes out.
But all right, I think it's a priority. Something that's definitely like on the agenda. But like, ain't y'all trying to figure out how to like get money and get paid right now? I mean, I'm no disrespect, but like, there's things in order. if you're not getting paid now and all this stuff is happening now, what do you think is going to happen then?
Oh yeah, it's gonna get worse.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I said I think it's changing too fast.
Absolutely.
That's what makes
Technology's
me.
degrading too fast.
It's too fast. But when the people who delivered ice, they could at least see it melting their jobs away.
Yeah.
With the refrigerator coming. With these people, it's going to be too quick.
But listen, you don't have to create anything new. You just have to be convenient. You know what I mean? Like, unless I need it right now, I'm going to get it from Amazon. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about now? No, he's just lost me. He's like, Leon's like, I'm going to work for Amazon now.
No, it's convenience, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
convenience is, that is key.
Convenience. You don't have to create anything new. Just make it convenient. People will pay for it.
Type in a prompt, get a whole movie.
Get a coffee.
Nice. All right, get me out of here, Leon. I'm done.
All right. We're out. Safe word is banana.